Hello and welcome once again to Picture a Better Tomorrow, brought to you by Kanawha County Schools TV, Suddenlink Communications, and the United Way of Central West Virginia. Well, here we are in the second week of March. It's probably closer to spring than we'd ever think at this time of the year. And we're also at the tail end of the United Way Community Fundraising Campaign. We're joined today by the chairperson of the United Way Resource Development Committee, Mr. D.F. Mock. D.F., thanks for being here.
Thank you, John, for having me.
D.F., you have a dual purpose. Your real life job, you're Senior Vice President with United Bank here in Charleston.
Yes, sir.
And you're also the volunteer extraordinaire when it comes to Resource Development Committee structure at the United Way.
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit about D.F. Mock. You haven't been here for an extended period of time. Give us a little background.
Thank you, John, and it's my pleasure to be here today and to represent the United Way of Central West Virginia. I began my career with United Bank in Parkersburg, West Virginia about 12 years ago, and I've worked in various roles throughout the commercial lending division. In 2015, I transitioned to the Charleston area from Beckley and serve now as the market leader for our capital market region, which consists of Kanawha, Putnam, Logan, and Boone counties. In addition to that, I oversee our auto dealer line of business company-wide. I originally hail from Hinton, West Virginia, and during my time in Beckley, I served on the United Way of Southern West Virginia, so I served on the board there, so the United Way is near and dear to my heart, and it was my pleasure to get the extension from you to be a part of the board and be a part of the Resource and Development Committee, and look forward to making a difference here in the Kanawha Valley.
So I've known you since you came to town. Actually, I got a little advance notice from my counterpart, Margaret O'Neill, down in Beckley, that you were headed this way. So it was a good connection. But I can't let your connection with Hinton go without telling you that years and years and years ago, my great uncle used to own 15 or 1,800 acres. That is now the town of Hinton.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I've always thought, gosh, Hinton could have been my town. But no, my uncle gave it away.
And I'm assuming Ballingy Street's named after your
Ballingy
your
Street
family.
is named after
Right.
named after my uncle. That's exactly right. So yeah, thanks for that connection. So you come to Charleston from Beckley. You immediately got connected with the United Way of Central West Virginia. Why this organization, or that organization, I should say, versus some other nonprofit that I'm sure you would be interested in?
That's a great question, John, and part of my role as market leader of United Bank's capital market, I am involved in charged with being involved in the community and serving the communities that we serve. And I had the opportunity to work with you on the 2015 capital campaign, which was raising awareness to get our local employees to go around and start the campaign process. So working with Janice Sarr and yourself, was able to familiarize myself, and you opened the door for me to join the Resource and Development Committee, and I appreciate that, and it's been a worthwhile experience, and I truly feel that the importance of the United Way and the difference that it makes in the communities throughout the Kanawha Valley is a great benefit to this area.
So the Resource Development Marketing Committee is charged with the overall structure of fundraising, development of resources, which could be monetary, could be voluntary, could be a lot of different resources can be developed in regard to the support of the community through United Way. So we've got about 3 weeks left in this campaign, scheduled to close down March 31st. So how are we doing?
We are behind goal, and we do have a substantial shortfall. Right now, we're approximately $300,000 short of the campaign goal of $1.9 million. And it's important to mention that goal of $1.9 million because that is used to allocate through 26 various agencies throughout Kanawha, Putnam, Logan, Boone, and Clay counties that really rely on the resources that are provided and channeled through the United Way as we act as the clearinghouse for these agencies. And without the support of the United Way, the allocations could be reduced and could be a substantial detriment to the ongoing operations of these very important agencies.
We've talked in previous shows about the inverse relationship between economic activity and need in some cases. So irregardless of what we think about the Dow Jones average, the economic boom that we've seen since the election, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, we really don't see the job growth that could and should come with that kind of economic growth in the central part of West Virginia, or even in West Virginia period. So there's still a lot of uncertainty relative to coal and the whole economic structure, which means that in some cases the demand for nonprofit services is increasing. So your point of a decrease in campaign funding potentially providing a decrease or causing a decrease in services is really kind of key. $300,000 deficit, it sounds like to me that if we had 3,000 people or businesses that would write a check for $100 each, we'd close that gap.
That is really the focus of the committee right now, is to work on reaching out to at least 3,000 businesses or individuals throughout our service area to try to gain traction to reach this goal. It is quite a feat quite an endeavor to accomplish this, but we're working hard. The committee's working hard. We've engaged our board of directors, and certainly the staff at the United Way has been wonderful in trying to help us with the outreach and the awareness. So hopefully we can make our strides to reach this goal. But you bring up a good point, John, as far as the relationship of the need is growing, especially here in the central West Virginia area, and the dollars just aren't there due to the economics of the region. Certainly the energy industry plays into this, and as well as the overall population decreases. Just look at the economic data that we're dealing with. However, that doesn't reduce the need as these organizations continue to have a growing need for the services that they provide, and they need the dollars in order to function.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about United Bank and the activity within the organization that you were employed by relative to the United Way campaign, and why does United Bank place an emphasis on community giving through United Way?
Yeah, we work in two ways, John. And number one, United Bank does deliver a corporate gift on an annual basis. We have for many years to United Way of Central West Virginia here at the market level. In addition to that, we do an employee-based campaign in which yourself and your representatives will go to each of our 9 locations throughout our footprint in Kanawha, Boone, Logan, and Putnam counties. We will, in addition to that, our operations center, which is headquartered here in Charleston in Patrick Street. We meet with the employees. We deliver the message and pass out our campaign brochures, and hopefully we get participation throughout the workplace for the workplace campaigns, which is a very effective mechanism to generate contributions for the United Way's overall campaign.
So you talk about those employee meetings. It seems from a selfish perspective almost relative to United Way of Central West Virginia, it seems as those meetings become extremely important because they can answer questions, they can bring up situations that maybe local people and residents and employees of United Bank or any other organization don't realize, things that go on behind the scenes that you typically might not see as you're driving up and down Lee Street or on the interstate here in Charleston or any other county that we serve. So why do you take the time? Isn't time valuable? Why do you take the time to actually bring all your employees together and have that kind of presentation?
Another great question. And the most important element of the workplace campaigns is educating the employee base, but also the community, of what the United Way of Central West Virginia is about, and what they do and how they do sponsor the agencies that are part of the allocations of this campaign that we contribute from. If I did bring a brochure, and just for some of the funded agencies that are here locally, you have the Heart and Hand organization in Kanawha and Putnam County. You have Mountain Mission, Pride Community Services, West Virginia Health Right, the Salvation Army. These are just to name a few of the 26 agencies that are out there. So it further educates and informs our employee base. In addition to that, it allows them to take that message back to their communities they live in, their homes, their church, their school networks, and it allows them to promote the United Way in a fashion of, hey, I've contributed this, and my dollars are going to these organizations that need the help in order to operate.
That's really interesting, and it's important for organizations like yours to be involved with the community. I think that United Bank is a significant benefit to this community. At the same time, I think that this community is a significant benefit to United Bank. So it's a little bit of a team effort. So from a corporate perspective or from an individual employee perspective, to reciprocate back to the community in a way that is supportive just shows what a good corporate citizen your bank is. Richard Adams and Rick and everybody else at the leadership level have always done a great job running a really good bank, but also being engaged with the community, so congratulations.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And United Bank Shares is the largest publicly traded company headquartered in the state of West Virginia, and part of our mission statement is giving back to the communities we serve and really engaging our employees to give back in that level. So it is a focus at the executive management level and flows throughout the organization because it does truly make a difference. Banks are fundamental institutions of communities, and it gives me a lot of pride to work with an organization with a mission that's so important to giving back to the communities.
Sure. So back to the campaign. 3 weeks left, March 31st cutoff, which means that if funding hasn't been received by March 31st, it potentially jeopardizes the remainder of 2017 funding for the 26 agencies that you mentioned. So how can people give? What can they do today, this week, next week? What can they do to reach out and maybe make that $100 donation or something even more significant?
There are various ways to give. As I mentioned, there are brochures that the United Way representatives have, so certainly you can outreach to the United Way offices to provide that. There's also a Facebook page that you can log on to and donate there. And also, reach out to your employers. There's probably connections there where they've given a campaign in the past, but more importantly, can outreach to the United Way in order to receive the forms. But it's as simple as donating online. You can log on to the United Way of Central West Virginia's website. Follow the Facebook links. Those are really the most efficient ways to give and donate.
And I might mention that some people are reluctant sometimes to go online and do things. A lot of people shop online these days, but a lot of people are reluctant. Donors could most certainly call the United Way office at 304-340-3500. And I'm sure somebody answering that phone during business hours would be glad to take their information and either send out a bill or take a pledge over the phone.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And our Resource and Development Committee, we've making an effort right now to reach out to as many folks as we can connect with. Send out emails and try to spur the activities. So those listening at home, you may get a forwarded email from that was composed by myself here, just trying to create the outreach and awareness.
So a $100 donation over, say, a year period, because technically the funding is for 12 months. That's a few dollars a week. That's not a deal breaker for a whole lot of people. So how would you encourage people to kind of jump on board, and for those 3,000 individuals or businesses, that $100 donation could be pretty significant? What's your challenge to them?
You make a great point there as well. And $100, for one calendar year, just think of it as that's a little less than $2 a week, and that's one can of soda, one cup of coffee. Just do away with that, during the course of your work week, and save those dollars to go to a local agency such as the Children's Therapy Clinic, the Mountain Mission, as I mentioned, Daymark, et cetera. There's so many different agencies that are supported by the United Way, and that $100 that you give during the course of the calendar year, they can go a long way with that. It truly does make a difference.
Yeah, it really does. And that's a really good challenge. People need to get on board. It's like paying taxes. Nobody likes to do it. But if we all do it and do our fair share, then things work pretty well. And we can argue about the